Good. We ready, yo?
I was born ready. Let's get it.
All right. So since I did suggest a topic, basically we have two black men with two different perceptions on relationships and
Wait,
how.
you ain't gonna welcome the people to the show?
I wanted to say that.
I was introducing the topic,
recording,
not
or-
introducing the show. All right, bet.
Oh, so
We're
is it recording?
It says recording up there.
Hey,
Oh,
welcome, guys.
I'm so blinded by the lights that I can't even see no more. Maybe I should put on my shades
Hey.
for a
Go
minute.
ahead, put on the shades because it makes you look bad.
Yeah, go crazy on them.
There we go. We got
All right.
Rihanna on the screen. This makes me
All
happy.
right. Welcome, guys, to episode 3 of your favorite podcast, The World From Home. Today, I am your impromptu host, along with 3 of my other amazing cast members. To my personal right, I don't know how your screen is set up. If you have an Android, do better. We have Tamia, who also has some amazing shades for us. She came, the fashionista of the show. Say hey, Tamia.
Gang, 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 gang,
Put
gang.
the
Gang,
shades
gang, gang, gang. Below our sister Tamia, we have the Prince, the man on a mission, in better shape than he's ever been. Face looking like it been cut in half. Ophir, say hey to the people.
Gang, gang.
Amazing. And last but not least, a coat, Batia, aka Tiana Young, looking shiny, looking like a star. Say hey to the people, please.
All on purpose.
Amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Amazing. So today's topic, we decided to sort of piggyback, I guess, off of last episode's topic, which was relationships. So I personally dug a little deep in the internets to find 2 different people who have, 2 different perspectives on relationships. They're followed, they're known, they have shows and things like this. So it's not just some random people speaking. One of them is Derrick Jaxn. Jaxn spelled with an X. To me, that's because he's retarded. I mean, but do with that what you will. And we have my man Kevin Samuels, a 50-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, 50-plus-year-old image consultant, life coach, who also kind of gets like brutally honest on relationships as well. So just to kind of start the topic, just wanted to know if everybody saw each one. Just give some brief thoughts on what you thought of each one. You want to start?
I'll start.
All right, go ahead.
So let's separate the two because I guess they're kind of different in their
Very
approach.
different.
They're different in their approach because the Jaxn guy is like more like motivational. Women know your worth, don't take or tolerate anything less than. And then you have Kevin, who is more so like, you're not worth nothing, release lower your standards.
I really know your
that
worth.
cute,
Like,
not
you
that
really
smart,
need to
you
know
don't
your
bring
worth.
nothing to the table. Now find somebody average or get a dog and
Because
live
you
happily
are
ever
average.
after.
Amazing.
So I guess their approach is completely different. Kevin, I really have a lot of things to say about Kevin, so I'm gonna just leave it for now. But
We'll get back to that, yeah.
But
All right.
really the whole thing about the Jaxn character, I think that really had everybody caught off guard was that he really came from the perspective of somebody who is concerned about the women and them kind of getting the short end of the stick when it comes to relationships these days. So he came from the approach of, I'm gonna motivate the women and tell them exactly how to get a man and keep a man and blah, blah, blah. Just to find out that the ideal example for a man was actually cheating on his wife for like an entire year. So I think that's where everybody was pretty much caught off guard. Like, this guy been
It was
on
more than that.
Facebook. How long was he cheating on her for?
They said they've been together. Like, it's been years. Like,
And
literally,
then nobody
his
even knew he had a
habitual
wife.
cheater. It's wild. It's wild. It's so
Yeah.
wild.
On the low,
Very well.
nobody even knew he had a wife. He used to do all his videos from his car, so it was like
Very dirty
in his
character.
mistress' house.
Oh,
Right?
by the way, what you
mistress
think
house
about
was
the two people?
outside. He was calling like, let me do this video right quick.
First, the Jaxn guy, I'm gonna piggyback off what Tamia said. The Jaxn guy, very motivational, very inspirational. A lot of women is mad because he led them astray. you know, hurt their feelings in a lot of different ways. They really followed him, you know, and they really hurt because they actually followed him and showed their girlfriends, you know, all of his videos. And he come to turn out he a superhero on the other side, acting crazy.
That's really insane because I know everybody pretty much just wants something to believe in these days, and that's what he was. So once
I think a lot of people was following
as a
him.
man, let me ask you this question. Before the cheating, let's say we could erase the fact that you know he cheated. What do you think about his videos before that?
I didn't watch a lot of. I only watched a couple of them. I only watched the ones that was sent in the group. So like, I don't know him too well. I just felt like even from the ones that I watched him, he was very inspirational to the people. You know, he was talking. He was very charismatic. You know, I saw him one. He was clenching his wife's hand. It was a little tight. The clench was tight, and her face was different. But he got his wife to get on here and then say inspirational words next to him. So obviously he's an inspirational person. Like she wore an army suit. So obviously, you know, he's very charismatic and very inspirational. So you know, I have to appreciate that on some level. You know, that was the videos before he came out.
You said you appreciate that?
You appreciate Derrick.
Before he came out, yes, I appreciated his charismatic act.
What do you think about the actual content of what he was saying, like the actual subject matters, like the whole don't take less than anything?
You told me he the one that came out with black men don't cheat, right?
No, hell no.
He ain't one of those.
You get him confused
with
two black kings who are Little Duval and Charlemagne the God, not Derrick Jaxn. We will not confuse that clown with our two kings. We ain't gonna do that.
Okay.
Yeah, Derrick, he's one of the black men that actually does cheat. So
yeah, okay. So my thing with Derrick was he had a lot of stuff that you couldn't really argue, but he did it in a very simpy type of way. It was very women targeted, like follow me, I'm the perfect guy. No real man lived by all of these standards. Like this is falsehood, fraudulent
what were some of his
behavior.
Standards? Because I didn't really listen to him. He just irritated me. So I don't know much
some of the things that he was saying, like even as far as the cheating thing, like before he got caught cheating, they kept replaying his video, like saying if a man has cheated on you, it's probably not his first time. He probably decided to leave you way before he put his whatever. So if you can't be faithful, leave her. Like again, we understand that the ideal situation is not to cheat. But we understand how men work also. So for a man to get on here and be this adamant, leave him, no sympathy, he a devil, and then to do this, it just like this show how fraudulent.
Wait. No, because he was.
This is what I was asking you, because he was saying reckless, crazy shit for years.
Okay, wow. Okay.
A super he also went at people who were
advocating for one side and doing the other side.
Yeah, he was going at people publicly who were unfaithful to their wives. Let's say
that's what I'm saying.
That caught his issue. He was going at him
like somebody in a church or something, like
he was going at a pastor.
Pastor Gray, Pastor Gray cheated on his wife, and he did a whole video, I think, about that. I saw that.
Yeah, he was saying that their approach to cheating was different. Like the pastor was blaming his wife, I guess, for his infidelities, and he took this was he was saying on his own
get the shit up out
live
of here.
video. Like he was like, we different, because I don't think what I did was right. But he actually saying that it was his wife that was lacking the whatever this guy is. Said his wife was lacking, and that's why he had to like cheat on her because she wasn't holding up her.
Everybody's the problem but him.
He's the only one that's not the problem.
Everybody's the problem but him.
Gaslighter, and his wife is still like suffering from him.
She's
like,
religious and brainwashed. Like after you
of being gaslighted by this guy.
Yeah.
You can look at it and see she's a broken woman. Hopefully,
it's like
I just looked and found out like last year she tried to file for divorce and canceled it like a couple of months.
And what are you doing, holding on?
They took her to church and brainwashed her.
But then, like,
what you think about Kevin that way also?
I think they're in it for the other couple. After the entanglement, I guess they just felt like because he had a little following and that they just in it for the view. He in it for a lot of views as well. Like I said, he good at what he does.
No, I'm talking about your.
I know I'm going there now. The other guy, I felt like I respected what he was saying. He was talking to a female, and the female was like telling him she wanted some dude that's on some level getting paid this much money, and he basically asking her like, basically, who are you? and like, why do you deserve this? And she basically saying just because she herself, like that's enough to deserve it. And he trying to tell her like, that's not enough. Like, what is you saying? Like, you don't have, like, what are you saying that you want something better than yourself? You think like you have it to yourself. That makes no sense. But that's what he was saying. That's what I heard from the guy, you know. He was trying to put people on level, saying that people need to meet people at the level that they at. Or you're going to have, like, there's levels in life. And people don't want to agree to it. People want to hide from it. People want to act like it isn't real. But it's levels in this life. And, you know, he's just trying to tell it. He just trying to tell people like it is, in my opinion.
I had a few issues with Kevin.
1 second, T. Let's Batia, wait, we ain't get Batia's opinion on both of the people. Batia, Derrick and then Kevin, what you think on both of them?
Trash, just trash baskets. All right, go tell me. I'll come back after.
Oh, you said both of them is trash?
Both? Wow.
I'll go into it after. Like, just trash, both of them. It's different versions of trash, but they're both trash.
All right, we gotta argue one of those. I agree on one of them. We gotta talk about the other one. All right, T, what's your issues with Kevin? Let's hear it.
So mainly for me, it's his delivery. Like at first, his delivery was so rough and harsh that I couldn't even hear what he was saying. So I can imagine the women that he's like coaching or educating on like relationships, they're not really receptive at the beginning because he kind of like attacks you in a way. And I feel like more than like, maybe his approach is just a little bit more, I would say, aggressive. It's straight to the point, but it's a little aggressive. Like you end up having these women, I don't know how they leave out of the labs with him or whatever, but I would feel a little bit worse about myself, honestly. Like he'd tell you that, like, what's your dress size? Oh, you fat and this and that, and whatever you think this degree means something, but that don't mean shit. Like, so
See, what do you say?
We don't bring shit to the table anyway. So like, what's the whole
No, what do you say but far as the delivery, to play the devil's advocate, yeah? What do you say far as desperate times call for desperate measures? These are not 18-year-old women talking to him with their whole life ahead of them. A lot of the time they're older, 2 kids, single and alone. They're not calling because they want to be ridiculed. But obviously if you call in the show and you know the history, you ain't been on since yesterday, you understand more or less what you're going to get. So if you're willing to take this chance knowing that he's going to talk to you like this, your situation probably calls for him to say this. Because with all that you're saying, like far as the dress size and stuff like this, which is, he break them down to real simple things. You bigger than you should be. You have 2 kids. But a lot of these women come on here and they're very, very, very delusional. And one of my things with a lot of the women that come on Kevin's show, outside of delivery and all this kind of stuff, is none of these women, almost none of them, and I've watched a lot of interviews, come on and say, I want love, I want a tall guy, I want a dark skinned person, I want to have long hair, short hair, I want them to love me, I want companionship. They come and they say they want high value, which on his show means they have to earn 6 figures or more annually. And we just gonna break this down into regular numbers. This is $1,200,000 a year minimum. Most of these ladies aren't willing to settle, and they do this until 40, 30 years old. So I think that's why the delivery is a little hard.
This is shocking, right?
No, dollars. No.
$1 million a month, a year?
Simple math. They want 100,000. They want a man to own, okay, no, my bad. They want annually. So that's a year. My bad. So that's a year, yeah. So in shekels, that would be 400,000 something. So every 3 years, he's making more than $1 million shekels. So they want a millionaire. They want a multimillionaire, like living standards. This is what all these women come on with. It's never like the characteristics of the person. It's how much he can provide. So he says, fine. It's nothing wrong with you wanting this. But people who make this much money, they want these things from women. To be youthful, to be super bad. Because if I got 6 figures, I have access to all type of women. I want the tip top. The same way you want me to provide for this whole lifestyle. I don't want to have to deal with nobody else's offsprings, or just, I don't want to deal with no overweight women. I mean, and if you big, do your stuff, but there's beauty standards and things like this. So a lot of it comes off as very superficial, but I think a lot of these women need to hear it then. What you think, T?
I agree. But I still feel like, I don't know, maybe like I said, I've never experienced the actual laugh with him on my skin, but just watching these women, he break them down so much that you see the process. First, they kind of like, they like resisting, I guess, whatever he giving them. But at the end, they're not like just accepting, they broken down. Like these women be, okay, yes, no.
Well,
like,
is it true?
It's almost like he wiped the spirit out of this.
Is it true though?
It's kind of like, I don't think that's the whole point. Like, I understand that they need to hear some things like more harshly, but to break them down every time.
Also, T, you have to realize this is a show too. He got to be entertaining. He got to entertain. He got to get the scramble.
So that's my point, Yemuel. So like, if you look at his history, because like for a minute, because I like the way he talks, it's almost like ASMR to me. So I used to watch a lot of his videos, but not only just like the stuff he posted on Insta, but most of what he posts, like the things he does, like he has a few women of like other races. I think like white. I haven't seen really any other race, but most of it's Black women. And the position he puts Black women in, like, is 1 or 2 videos, and that's another long story I'm gonna go in. But most of the videos, like these Black women, his showing, his acting as if this is like the standard version, the regular average Black woman, when it's not. Those are anomalies. Like those are just women. Yes, they might have like delusional ideas of what they deserve. However, every woman has a standpoint, just like you said, Ophir. Like is levels to this. As an image consultant, he can say, if you want this, because anyone can get anything they want, you just have to work hard for it. Like,
that's
you look
not
at these
true,
reality stars.
I do disagree with that.
I believe it. You just have to work hard for it. And when I say work hard, you might have to do certain things. So like these reality stars, a lot of them, like, no disrespect, but a lot of them have worked hard to look the way they look, right? So these women, they have to put in the work. But the way that he presents it to them as if you can never get that, I don't believe that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of women, like most of these women that are married to these rich men now, the ones that I see and follow on Instagram and look at, most of them have had children from when they were teenagers in high school, but they still look bomb, and they're married to millionaires, and they got like 2 or 3 baby daddies. It's all like the work that you.
Who are these people that you're speaking of?
I watch I watch every reality show, so trust me, I can name them all, but it's several of them.
Can you just name several of them?
Okay, Real Housewives of Atlanta. We got some in the video. Okay. Basketball wives. Basketball wives. Yeah, multiple baby. Multiple baby daddies.
All these is most of them is married to strippers and like dancers and average girls.
But you talking about strippers, and you talking about people who work hard to stay in shape. Like, this is what
that's my point, though, Fear. That's what I'm saying.
Like, we can't.
I'm saying anyone can get to that level if they really.
So okay, but listen, this is my thing.
This is why there's a need to break somebody down or to break
exactly. This show is necessary for behavior just like this.
If you're saying that anybody can get there, why aren't you there? Like, why you still want this? You say you want this out your mouth, but you cannot get there. Some reason you have not gotten there.
Because first of all, we like where they are now. So here's the image consultant. He should be supporting them and showing them the way. Like, if this is really what you want, you need to do this.
So he's all about.
Tell a lot of these people this, and some people listen. But he breaks it down to simple math. How many of the shows have you seen? I
don't know, a few videos. I watched it. I only saw Instagram. I've never watched it all the way through.
Okay, so I've seen entire segments, a lot of them, because I want to talk about the topic and be knowledgeable. I watched a lot of it. A lot of the stuff, first off, the conversations, a lot of the harsh ones, start very polite, very casual, very, how you doing? What you got for me? What do you want? Okay. The first thing, he don't tell him, you can't have this. Now, let's say if the woman is, let's just say mid-20s, she's cute, but she's not as slim as you could be. He'll tell her, okay, slim down. If you want these type of people, you got to slim down first off to get in shape. You got to be in the areas that they're in. I understand that you may have your career paths that you like, but if you're going to marry a multimillionaire, he's not going to want a wife working outside the house. He's going to probably want the kids. And a lot of them want to eat their cake and have it too. They're young, and like a lot of young people, they're ambitious. They want to go to school, get a lot of degrees, and they want to have a dude who make millions of fucking dollars over X period amount of time and still like pursue their dreams and careers. He be trying to tell him you can't have it all. So that's where the disagreement is. You can't have everything you want. For example, if you 45 and divorced with 2 kids,
he's saying they can have
your options are limited. No, somebody can't have nothing.
Meghan is a divorce and she married a whole prince. Meghan Markle married a whole prince.
She's the exception, not the rule, but she's the exception.
And she was 36 to 37.
But you have 2 men on the show. But you have 2 men on the show. Make it real simple for you. Most men, whatever they're willing to accept, you don't want to deal with another kid's offspring. If you had a choice, no matter how bad the woman is, you could choose a woman with kids or without kids. What would you choose every time?
That's
It
definitely
don't
not the
matter.
case in Hollywood. They love baby mamas.
It don't
Like,
matter. I don't raise.
get you one baby and you is the most attractive woman, especially to
First
these
of all,
African fingers just
yes.
making that kind of money. Let's see who they really date.
I don't
like,
live. I don't
it's
live.
baddies for sure, but not like, you know, you don't have to pretty much have no more than that. Like, be a cute face, I guess, have your body done or work out, either one.
To be pursued, maybe
like
no.
this.
To be kept and to
like
be
this.
wife is
And
different.
be young.
Usher married a woman much older than him with a bunch of kids that was divorced, and I think she left her husband for Usher, and he took her with a bunch of kids. Like, it's so many men, especially your old favorite basketball players and stuff. They have done it.
Okay, but if you're gonna do that, we go through the NBA. The NBA has
I'm not saying it's wanted. I'm just saying
players.
people accept it. If you're
Probably
bad
400 are married to like women without kids. You always have the exceptions, but the rule is among most men, they won't go to wife another woman with kids. You just simply don't. That's not attractive. If she's beautiful and she's amazing, y'all get along, you might accept it. But that's never what you want. You don't want to take care of other people's kids. As a dude, that's a big downside. So that's a lot of we be saying, but he said real crazy, so these women can't take it.
Say what you need to say.
I'm a dude. I agree with what Yamuel was saying, with what the guy is saying, what he says. Like everyone, everyone prefers. Every man prefers. Like, why would you prefer to raise? Like, you got to deal with that other person for 18 years. You got to deal with it. It ain't like you can disconnect them from their father, but yeah, people keep playing. People keep playing like it's not levels. It's levels. If you go anywhere in the world, if you go to a community of people, in that community of people, the people who have more money, they have more kids. They have more options. They have more women. They have more. That's how it happens in the world. So if you go anywhere and go up a level, it's gonna be the same thing. So it's just people playing around and people feels like right now.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, no, finish what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Like right now, you have Michael B. Jordan, who's dating or dated someone who's dated this person and dated this person, but the girl is in those circles. So this is why she's dating all of these guys. It's not like she's special or she's different. She's in this circle, and that's what happens in these circles, in these levels. There's levels to life, and people have to accept that.
I agree with what you just said, Ophir. My only issue is, like, we kind of got off that subject when I was saying my only issue is with how Kevin presents his videos, his information, especially like it's targeted towards Black men and women primarily. That I feel like that's his demographic, and mostly like on his Instagram, what he posts on Instagram, like aside from his YouTube, because I'm only seeing like a few of his YouTubes and I can never be bothered to watch the whole video, but it's mostly Black women on his Insta, and it's mostly Black women looking the craziest. And then like he portrays him to be crazy, and then that's the stigma that has given.
But do you know why it's only Black women?
That media has always given us. But that's my issue. The Black women that he's showing on his show are the anomaly. That's not like the regular Black.
No,
women.
but that's not true. That's not true. Listen, first off, he doesn't pick his audience. Again, as somebody who's watched all the segments, because he make a lot of sense. Again, I get the delivery thing, and again, I say it has to be that way. I don't say it's right. I understand you're not supposed to hurt people's feelings, and he probably goes a little more than he has to, because at the end of the day, he has a show. It has to be entertaining. He has to make people there. But the general idea of what he does, it comes from a good place. First off, Kevin is okay. Let's just be very clear. He's successful in his life. He doesn't need these women or these things. Secondly, the women that call in randomly. He rarely picks his audience. They call in randomly. And he's targeting the Black community because he's Black. And by his numbers and his stats, I haven't confirmed or checked them. He says, well, 1 in every 4 Black women eventually get married. So it's 3 single women for every 4. So he goes on this show to try and fix it. So he has to be extra hard. So a lot of the people calling in are these single Black women that he's talking about. I didn't hear people from the ages of 20 all the way to 50 call in, with and without kids, some pretty, some not, some educated, some not. And they all randomly call in doing
what's the reason?
They call in, but does he show them? Anytime I look at the video, it's always
he doesn't know. Okay, so he asks for permission to show them. Or if they're really, so the ones that you see the videos are usually very extreme and they're super persistent. So he asked them, you don't mind me showing you, and go look at the comments so you can see that other people are agreeing with me. But no, he doesn't force people to be on live. You don't have to cut your camera on.
I know
he usually says, let me see you so I can make sure you're not trolling me. He doesn't like trolls, but he doesn't force people to be on YouTube or post their shit. But when it's extreme or he trying to teach a lesson, quote unquote, then he posts them up with their permission, of course.
Tell me out. What you saying? I ain't saying nothing.
My main issue is, again, it's the delivery. And like I said, at the end of the conversation, whether it's his goal is to eventually wake these women.
You going in there? Like, you paused.
Or you gonna be alone, or like it's almost like
I
said, like
you went out for.
Like,
you went out. T. Make your point again. We didn't hear you.
Damn it! What part did y'all hear? Nothing.
No. Start from the beginning.
Oh, it's so expressive.
Do it again.
Anyway,
yeah.
Start over. I said, like, at the end of the day, I feel like at the end of this conversation, it always it goes into him saying, like, at the end of the day, it's almost like, not that, okay, if you do A, B, C, D, you actually got the option to have these type of men. It's like, you don't fit the bill, you won't fit the bill. Figure out an average man to accept you. And if you get a man that, I don't know, dear God, whatever under the sun to you, then you should be happy that somebody even wants you. Like, things like that really trigger me. Like, I understand and trying to build somebody up, you shake them up, get them the hard truth, but like, where's the building part? Where's the ABC? I understand work out and get fit, but like, where's the manuscript on what to do?
I have an answer to that. You've heard a few of the segments with
we
me.
know
have
you got that.
So, being the host, and the guy who brought up the topic, it's my side to argue both sides. So, you've heard this show with a lot of people. Again, I give you the delivery part. I'm not gonna argue that. I explain to you what I think it has to be. I'll give you that part. But a lot of times, even when he's talking to the dudes and the females, he asks them, do they know their father? What type of home they grew up in? What type of background? Does your father know you like this type of man? Have you ran this by your father? So he's very family orientated. He doesn't break all these women down all the time. And the ones that he has to do this to is because they're super, super, super persistent on what they want. And they're detached from reality. Like, you had a woman who was cold, no skills, not attractive, with kids, talking about she want one of the elite men and she's not willing to settle. So then he have to tell her, listen, you're not attractive, you don't fit the bill, like, bad dog and die alone. And then he also says, as far as the average black man, he says most men in America are average by earning value. That's the only thing when you say average is earning. So roughly about $50,000 a year. He said there's nothing wrong with an average man. An average man is a catch. He has a whole video on this. Most hardworking men are considered average. Whether you're a plumber, electrician, you work in construction, you make 50 to 70,000. He's saying this is amazing. A lot of y'all don't want to accept this because y'all chasing the top 2% of men as far as earning figures. That's all.
All right. So with Kevin James, another issue for me as well isn't like, just like Derrick Jaxn, first of all, I'm thinking nobody really knew Derrick Jaxn was married because he was trying to put this whole single life idea. Even was frozen. Like Kevin Samuels, I feel like, isn't he single? And he's a 50-year-old bachelor, and I'm gonna listen to some 50-year-old bachelor give me advice in his tiny suits. No, thank you. No, thank you. Like Steve Harvey.
Let's go.
Like Steve Harvey, like legit, I'm gonna listen to Steve Harvey.
Ew, don't do that.
But let me tell you, nothing I read every day.
Steve. Come on now. Not Steve.
Let me show you, like, Steve is married. He has a
mustache, broom mustache ass, bald head ass, snitch on men to women ass, think like a woman man ass.
Why am I listening to Kevin saying he's as single as me and he's way older than me? So,
and he want to be single. He like a player in the streets. Like,
can I answer you?
So he trying to tell you from the player side, like how not to get played.
No, that's first off, he's been married twice.
He is?
Great.
Twice.
He's been married.
Okay. Yeah.
He's been married. He's been through there. That's the one. And far as him being single, he's rich in America. He's not single because he can't find nobody. He all right. He choosing now after 2 marriages, whatever. But the point is, he said, like, even far as like your comment right now, a lot of women, or some women, not a lot, had that perspective too. Well, Kevin, what about you? What about this? What his thing is, hey, I'm an image consultant. This field means people who have enough money to come see me to advise on perfume and suits, they probably earn a lot of people. The people that y'all say y'all want, this is what they say they want. That's the whole thing. It's not about him. So a lot of people make it about him and say, listen, I'm talking to the millionaires that y'all like. This is what they want. You don't have this, go get it. A lot of women come on there, they can't cook. Like, You want to raise, you want somebody.
You gotta get out of
You want to be a housewife. You don't want to work. You want a multimillionaire and you can't cook for your kids. We're going to get a nanny. So what does he need
women don't cook. They have a housekeeper.
Okay.
Right.
See? Batia, you got to get on.
Not these women that's coming on these shows. I'm sure they cook.
But not the women, the rich women that you see. Like most of these really rich. I'm gonna just talk from the perspective of celebrities.
A housekeeper.
Because that's who I can see this rich. We see the celebrities, I guess, live their lives or whatever.
Yeah.
And you see the women that they marry. Usually it's like, no offense to my beautiful Instagram thoughts, but it is what it is. Like most people, they find like these strippers, these whatever women that look attractive.
See, when you say celebrities, you mean like musicians, athletes?
So they really don't have to cook. They don't have to know how to cook. They don't have to know how to do shit. But show up and be cute on their arm.
Wait.
Question.
These men are not finding these women. These women is having babies by these men to live their best life.
Whatever is happening, or I guess
whatever's happened, they're living the life.
Also, tell me
this is what I'm trying to say. So all the guy is trying to tell the girls is you have to look like these ladies that's getting pregnant.
Oh, more than that.
That's
sad. Like, people that tell me are talking about. Kevin specifically outlined it. When you say celebrities, don't you mean athletes, musicians, supermodels, these type of people, right?
Yeah.
What you're talking about?
Yeah.
So specifically on his show, he's talking about people who work a job or worked up to own a company, not celebrities. He specifically marks them as the outlier because a lot of their money is not consistent. You play basketball or football, you have a 5-year career, you make all these millions, and then you don't have no career before or after. So specifically, a lot of their lives aren't like, they're not standard to anything that most people have. So when he says high value, high earning, he's not talking about celebrities or athletes or drug dealers. Specifically, he said this. So if you're a CEO or if you're a lawyer or if you're a physician, these type of people, which is the common, celebrities are not the norm. So that's as far as them. So I don't know about them banging the thoughts. They can enjoy. He ain't talking about that. That his
so
words.
Whether he said what he said every 3. He said only 3 out of 4 women get married. Or he said only.
He said in America, specifically black women in America.
1 out of 4.
Or something like this. Yeah.
So basically, all the rest of the women just got kids for other people.
Either got kids or single.
Or like, what about like common law marriage? A lot of American families, Black American families, like in terms of like poverty and stuff, they ain't got time for wedding and all of that, but they live in like common law relationships and all of that.
Is that he always talks about high value men in his show? High value men and like what they require and how once they reach these levels, then they have to get another standard. So he had a few women. I don't know if they was the baddest woman in the world, but like financially stable, they're a high value man. Technically, they reach all of those standards.
Yeah,
but
no man don't want no high value man.
He continues to tell them how because they have these things, or whatever, their education and their money, they have to settle for less. Like, but you find you an average man. Because ain't no man with your kind of money gonna want you necessarily. Like they want somebody younger, they want somebody more this, more that. So a Black woman usually, which is the main issue in America right now, is a lot of Black women are successful and educated, but can't find a man because either they can't find a man on their level, quote unquote, that they want to date, financially and every other aspect wise, or they really have to just go ahead and settle, like completely go whatever out of
See, that word right there is offensive. What does settle mean? What does settle mean?
When you make a lot of money, you want to be with like a woman to make a lot of money. You want to be with a high earning man. You don't want to make a lot of money.
Wait, one second, because you answered the question, but not directly. When you say settling, as far as a woman, when you say settling, you mean getting into a relationship with somebody who doesn't earn as much as you. That's what you mean?
We're talking about finances, and that's the issue.
Yes.
The issue is a woman having more money earned than her partner, or having to like literally settle. When I say settle, because a lot of women that go this hard to make that kind of money want to eventually find a partner on that same level and move forward with them. They don't necessarily want to date somebody that's not earning as much. But he takes those women
here is the problem.
And break them down into actually you equal to an average Black male and nothing.
Average earning wise, but you keep saying average like the person is an average shitty person.
This is my focus.
Okay, so listen, this is the issue. So like you said, the women in these particular cases, the women that do earn a lot of money, pretty decent looking, in order to get there where you like a super, again, we're not talking about celebrities where you showed your coochie on Instagram and now you're famous. Usually a physician or a lawyer or whatever, usually gonna get there in your mid 30s-ish. You then postponed it, men, for all this time, and now you want one. And the thing about the men that earn as much as you is they are men. They don't want the same thing women want. So high value in a woman, again, this is bad, the Kevin thingy that he said. High value in a woman doesn't result to her money. Because as a man, I don't have access to your money for the most part. Even if you have a lot of it. Like, that's not what he values. A nigga that's rich don't care about if the woman is rich. If she's older and she can't have kids, or she this, or she's super bossy because she didn't reach these accomplishments in life, I'd rather not deal with that. I'd rather deal with somebody who works at a bar, who's gonna be cute and take care of my kids because money I have.
You can't be broke. You can't be rich. You can't be skinny.
And that's the story I like.
Literally,
no, that's not true. You can be rich.
Disagreeing with what
rich men not gonna want to date you. Like,
go back in time
somebody who's not rich.
23 and find somebody rich to take me because I'm at my youngest and purest state. That's the solution, because I don't see no way with that.
No, or not settle with somebody who's in the top 5% of earners and find a man who loves you, who you attracted to for other things outside of his pockets. What about that scenario?
No,
that
that's
never
fine.
comes
I'm
up.
saying that, like,
that works.
So what? People can't aspire to want. So what?
You get inspired, but it's like,
I'm saying, like, so
one of these people every 100. You probably okay.
You have to listen. You have to listen. Everybody.
You're arguing math, like you arguing.
Everybody
math.
is reaching up.
I'm telling you my perspective.
Everybody is reaching up. So the people that you're after is after somebody else. Like, everybody is reaching up. Everybody think like, okay, I'm gonna get to this level and then I'll be able to grab these people. But those people who are up there, they looking for something different. They're not looking for the same, especially if you're talking about the difference between a man and a woman's perspective on what's valued. And time is a big one. So age and calculation of that and money.
So what's a high value woman, Yams, according to Kevin?
Okay, youth. Your age, first off. If you 50 instead of 22, that makes a difference to a man who's trying to start a family.
Your
Just
size,
to be real extreme.
Your dress
your size, especially if he's considering you for a family and kids. If you already big, you have baby fat, you have people who don't work out immediately after this.
Wait. Why you just sat to that? Tell me.
Like, why are you disappointed? This is what me and want. Like, we're not arguing if this is wrong or right, T, morally, if this is lit. I'm just telling you the facts.
Whatever you want. What you mean? Like,
and again, when he say like submissive housewife, he's not necessarily saying yes, king or whatever. But
what does he mean?
I'm going to be not the majority breadwinner. I'm going to be the single breadwinner for the family. Take care of the home and look good. I get everything else.
Look good. Get young. What else?
Not get young. Not get young.
Obviously, I mean,
be further. Okay, Tease, listen, let me be generic with you because you love to be super technical.
The 40-year-old. What's she gonna
be able to have kids and preferably not have kids from other people. The younger, the better. Okay? Be able to have kids.
So for the 40, let's say for now, I'm in the beginning of the danger zone. I'm 30. Think about the woman that's like 40. What's the solution to them? Like, they can't. Is
your condition the only? Listen, T, is your condition? You only want a millionaire? This is your only way you want it to be? Okay, so you don't fit the bill. That's what I'm saying. You arguing for shit that's not supposed to be arguing.
And start talking.
You're not saying I'm 30 and I only want a millionaire, because if you're 30 and you only want a millionaire, keep your figure, which is nice. Don't have no kids, and you probably got the housewife stuff because you grew up in the kingdom.
Wait. You're not ugly, fat, or have kids to come and say like, yo, I'm in the put. These people who
you're not in these positions, Steve.
Saying these things, they should not be saying. Like, they shouldn't be saying this.
It ain't arguing for millionaires, for the top percentage of earners.
That's just one of the things. We didn't even talk about like Kevin. And first of all, he paints with a generalization brush, like all of that. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yes, there's a typical idea of beauty, especially like body size and stuff. But like, and where he's based, I find it very funny because he's in Atlanta, and in Atlanta they love thick women.
Who's in Atlanta? Which one?
Kevin's based in Atlanta. Okay. He lives in Atlanta, and
Atlanta got a lot of baddies.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm just saying, like, especially in the States now, Vic is in. So, like, even his dress size comparison, that's just a regular girl's, like, small dress size. That's not nothing special. But, like, Atlanta, like, they really like thick women. So, those sizes are going to be much larger.
You got
acting like women have to be this one size. Sorry? You said
you got thick, and then you got out of shape women. You got thick where your thighs and your butt is a little big. And
I'm not disagreeing. A lot of his stuff, like what we said, a lot of his stuff is valid. It's his delivery and how he portrays Black women. For me, it's all about like how he portrays us. It's like the stereotypical Black woman. Like, we're ignorant, we got attitude, we want more than what we deserve. those are the three things. And also,
but
respectfully, I feel
he's
like
right more times
there's a
than wrong.
colorism issue with Kevin.
Oh my
Because
God.
I've seen how he talks to light-skinned girls and girls that look. It's a colorism and featureism issue with Kevin Samuels, and that's
He
why
had an interview with a white
girl.
girl he called Trust Fund Becky. He snapped on her. Listen. What I like about Kevin is
I'm talking about black women specifically because that's the issue. I said is I've seen how he treats light-skinned women, and I've seen how he treats dark-skinned women who, to me, are just as beautiful. And like, I'm not talking about any crazy looking, just regular black. I'm talking about girls that actually come on there looking like they know that they're going on live or going to be on his YouTube or whatever the hell they're doing. And I've seen how he talked to the light-skinned girl versus how he talked to the dark-skinned girl, and I didn't like it. So I feel like for him,
he is a ninja in Atlanta. You said, right? Atlanta people, like, they like that a lot.
I know, but that's the issue. So like for him as a representative, like black men are always on his comments. Like I read so many of the comments, always in the comments praising him and stuff. And like it seems to be like what he's saying is what all the black men are agreeing with. So that's the issue right there. For me as a black woman, that's my biggest issue is how his portraying
if all of the black men are agreeing with him, you don't think there's something to that? Like if most of black men are agreeing with him, why?
Black men is a lot of self-hate. You always got so much trauma. You gotta hate yourself. Because especially like when he had this light-skinned girl, everybody was in the comments like, oh, she's a baddie. Oh, she's so fine. And he had a pretty dark-skinned girl. He had a pretty dark-skinned girl. When in another video, I swear I didn't see nobody.
Yeah, they call you
show me the videos that you talking about.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's happening right now. I think Kevin is racist if that's what you're implying.
And how he delivered it, his delivery, how Kevin talked to the girl, the light-skinned girl in the video was completely different from how he talked to the dark-skinned girl. And I was like, that's when I started watching his videos. I said, I'm not gonna listen to that trash. No way.
But
so don't stop me with that because I get so upset. It's not racism, it's colorism. You can't like he hate like is self-hate within our own race. That's a
whole other topic.
And that's a whole
but you took me somewhere I wasn't prepared to go.
No, but for real, that's why I stopped looking at his videos. And
I don't think you've seen enough to say that though, Bob. I've seen him go hard like at a lot of people. I watched the whole show.
And like I said, I read the comments because I said I can't be the only one picking up on this. And when I saw the comments, I saw everybody was agreeing. I saw a lot of black women were saying.
I gotta watch these things.
Yeah.
See what's
if he racist, I don't agree with that. The other points I like. I think my man was out here. Colorist.
I know the people.
I don't believe a black person can be racist. We cannot be racist.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. African Americans right now, it's like a big thing. The more mixed and lighter and features that you have, like the more attractive and appealing that you are, especially to black men, more than the other races. And when you see, it's interesting to see like the mixed race couples, how the if it's a white guy dating a black girl, it's always like a black girl with natural hair and like chocolate. You know what I mean? And it's like with black men, it's always the Karuchis and a mixed black, Afro Asians or whatever you want to call everybody that's mixed, and that's like way more appealing. But that's a whole nother.
These is the people that the people that people follow. This ain't the majority. This the majority, or just the people.
I'm saying what we can see. I mean, like I said, I don't know the rich.
If this is what our celebrities like.
I mean, I know how it is in Atlanta.
Most of the rich people are not famous. Just so you know, like the vast majority of rich people.
I understand, but I don't know.
We know that
based on a life that I can see. They rich and they private, but I mean, for the people that's public, which usually are the celebrities, that's what we get to see. We can't know.
Tamia, don't let them play us. Do not let them play us because first of all, in the music videos, on the shows, and everything that they celebrate, how they deal with light-skinned girls is different from how they deal with dark-skinned and brown-skinned girls. Period. That's always been an issue. We've always known that.
Y'all change this argument around to something that you can't even argue
on the music video.
No, it's not an argument, but like when she brought up the observation, that really is a big issue in America, especially Black America, which is insane.
Let's open up the topic of the to the people, since we want to go and talk about colorism. Why is it that the black men prefer, or I mean, because colorism, we're gonna look at the other side of the table. Because Tamia just said that the white man goes and get the black girl with the afro, so that's colorism. He's not going after his white sister who looks like
colorism. Can I just clarify what colorism
wait, I know what colorism
means.
I know what colorism is.
But that's fetishism. That's fetishism.
I know colorism is inside of the race, but I'm saying as a person who's looking at the two sides, though, this person choosing this person choosing this, why are they making a choice? Like, what drives somebody to make that choice?
You tell me. Somebody tell me, please, because I don't have the answer as to why.
It's historical. It's from slavery times. Remember the brown paper bag? If you were lighter or darker than the brown paper bag, how that depends on how you were treated, whether or not you was up at the house, the big house, or whether you were working down in the cotton fields. So they created, it was all part of breaking our mentality, Black people's mentality, and breaking us down and trying to break our spirit. And it was causing, causing division within our community and us to start hating on each other. That's all of it. And it's carried on. It's carried on. Like, we've forgotten, like, that's what all the Black Power movement was about embracing your natural skin color, your hairstyle, your natural hair, and all of that. And we lost that again.
It's not like somebody who like mangoes, but they prefer Maya mango. It's not the same.
Not in the Black community.
Mangoes? Are you because mixed chicks like they gotta be mixed? Is that what that?
No, I'm saying.
No.
No. My analogy was like, we're all Black, like, but somebody prefer this. Like, why is that? That's
a deeper issue in the Black and brown
and not everybody, not
Asian communities as well.
Obviously, wait, not everybody. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's.
Of course not. I mean, first of all, you can be attracted to whoever and whatever race you prefer. I have no issue with whoever's preferences are, whatever. But within the Black community, it's a main issue of not necessarily saying like I don't want Black women at all, but as if though like if you make Black women a little bit more subtle, a little bit more high yellow, a little bit more of a sharper nose, a little bit more straight or wavier hair, then it's a little bit more appealing because I guess they don't come off as complete like Black women with all of our issues and our anger management and all of our issues. These is like more diluted versions of these Black women. So it's
they make it, if you're lighter or you have different face, if you have more European facial features and all of that, you're seen as more feminine than just the stereotypical Black features, African features. It comes from TV. It comes from TV
because
it comes from TV and media. And what we've been taught historically, and what we've been taught the ideal version of beauty.
Somebody have a computer in front of them? Well, no.
I do.
I mean, you got
I do.
Check. It's something that says, check for, what was the name? How can I get it to come up right away?
Oh, for Black girls.
It's a talk show, and they're basically on the talk show, and they're saying the criteria for beauty. And they're basically naming everything white, and it's like 3 Black people saying there.
When they talk about the
nose,
tip of
so
the nose,
somebody determined, someone.
They talk about that news segment. They talk about the news segment and the 2 Black anchors, the co-anchors. Yeah, I know that video.
So, like she has she almost has like 90% perfect face.
Kate Middleton. They curvature of the nose. Bro, but these things are written down. Like somebody really wrote this. Like somebody teach this somewhere. You know, models. It's a models, of course. Like
Europeans.
So we're just susceptible to European beauty. Like we're just too busy watching European.
According to Europeans, they discovered each world. They discovered Americas. They discovered Africas. All of that. It was just savages living on the land before they showed up here. So it is a European's world. We just live in it.
Yams, what you got to say about that?
Not that. No, not that.
I was being sarcastic.
I was being sarcastic. Sarcasm for sure.
I was being sarcastic.
My life's mission is to not let Batia's statement ever be true. Everywhere. Like, we can't just live in a whole white man's world. Like, what about Africa? Like, what about what about a lot of stuff? Like, that's crazy.
But
colorism is an issue. I didn't really have anything on the topic. If you judge people off color, your own race, do better. But I don't really know what to say to that. I'm not gonna get in there. Batia is real passionate about what you're saying. I agree with you, bro.
No, it's just, I mean, we know it's an issue, and we're not calling every Black man out here a colorist. Like, you just prefer, if he dated 3 light girls, then we gotta like label him as something like that. That's not the case. But it's really about like teaching yourself and gaining enough knowledge to know where it comes from and where that stems from. And it's not natural to hate the way you look. Cause like most of these guys, when you look at their mamas, it's like, this is what your imam, this chocolate woman is your mama, but you out here chasing these
chasing a light skinned girl. Make it make sense.
Not to take away from that yellow chicks, gang. But I'm just saying, like, making it as if though it's better than, and that's the issue. It's not about preference. It's about like lowering, I guess, the average Black woman compared to like a mixed race, which is.
As a Black man, I can say I love chocolate. I got a sweet tooth.
I'm like, it's nothing wrong with if you like a light skinned girl, you like a light skin. But it's how sometimes Black men pick like how they view light skinned or mixed race girls against
you
Black
the queen
women.
of fluid. Don't call me.
Like, against dark skinned women. That's my issue. It's like you say, oh, this is why I like light skinned girls in comparison against dark skinned girls. That's when it becomes an issue. If you like light skinned girls, if your emo was light skinned, but when you and your mother was dark skinned and you start talking down about dark skinned women in reflection of like white or light skinned or mixed girls, then that's the issue right there. That's when it becomes a colorism issue. And then you got to start looking at yourself, because all you're doing is you hate yourself.
Yeah, because otherwise
is it the other way around as well, or no? Like,
it's 100% the other way around. 100.
Black girls like
Black women do it too.
Well?
Black girls do it too, but I'm sorry, it's just not as prevalent with us. It's really not.
Okay.
It's
Black
really
people, get your lives together. We can do better. Let's love each other, no matter how we look, no matter our shape, color, size.
Don't say shape. Don't say size to Kevin.
No. I was about to say, what was the guy? Not according to my guy. I think Kevin. My guy. Jaxn.
Did you all see the video where the girl had her video up here, and then he was asking her size, and he kept asking her size.
Yeah, because her face
she was pretty. Yeah, her face was round. She was pretty, but like,
don't do that, Monty. No, first off, no, she wasn't. I seen the girl you talking about. She was okay looking. No, she was not. This is the thing. Women are nice. No, she was not. She was not attractive.
Are you serious?
She was not. Yes, very serious.
She had a pretty smile, pretty eyes. Her hair. I was like, finally, somebody got on with that hair down.
She averaged her best. Average her best.
I thought she was cute.
She average. Well, two dudes are here telling me she's not. This is the thing. Women always assume everybody's cute and everybody is beautiful.
So then you said don't love yourself for whatever you are.
No, love yourself, but be realistic. Like if you're short and fat, you know it's people that's tall and in shape and they look better than you. Like, I mean,
big fat.
What to do?
Kevin, before we move on, can I just talk about Kevin's rating? Because that's what I really wanted to talk about. How the hell a Beyonce and Kelly Rowland at 8?
He didn't say that. He said Beyonce, and first off, he's talking about face.
Beyonce
only.
And Kelly.
He said her face 8. No, he said Beyonce's 8, Kelly Rowland's a 9, and Rihanna with all her fro hair was 10.
Rihanna's so fast.
And then he put Halle Berry and Rihanna the same level as a 10. But
he said older ages it would be Halle Berry.
Okay, that's another reason, because all the women he talked about were of a certain color that were tans.
Kelly is black as shit. He said she a 9.
No, I listened for Kelly. I'm pretty sure he said she was an 8.
I watched the show today.
Kelly, if he said Kelly was a 9, okay.
Yeah. Kelly is a 9.
Bro,
he said Rihanna would be a 10.
He threw Kelly in there how to give a complimentary black man and movies.
Kelly's definitely a 10.
He threw on here like they gonna say I'm only taking
every man know Kelly.
Let me throw it. No, we know.
Kelly is cuter than Beyonce. Yes.
No, I think
Kelly and Beyonce deserve to be a 10. They're both flavors. Kelly and Beyonce are both a 10, in my opinion.
You see, this is the problem. Women are delusional. They're not. Kelly is more attractive than Beyonce.
I mean,
to you.
Let me agree.
To most men.
I don't think to most men.
Me, Kevin, and Ophira say yes. What other men? Go ask some more.
We can ask some more. Like, it's for y'all, but I would love to go out into the shut and ask. I'm gonna check it. I'm gonna do that for our next podcast and bring back the numbers.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I don't want the world to feel like y'all the only men that we have. Ophira,
no, Beyonce is super lit. Nobody is never about to argue Beyonce is not amazing. Kelly is a chocolate drop out here.
She different.
Kelly Rowland is like.
Kelly is drop dead gorgeous. I love her.
Her legs look
arguing.
I like Rihanna more.
Rihanna's 100%.
Rihanna is a 10 on Kevin's book.
Rihanna is a 10.
I don't disagree, but I'm like, why a Beyonce and Kelly?
You like Rihanna
all
over
on the same level?
100%. No doubt.
Everybody not on the same level, but get off of this. The world's not fair.
I think I do like Rihanna over Kelly because I'm confident in Rihanna's fashion.
No, she agreeing with Kevin. Mafia is agreeing with Kevin.
I get her fashion sense.
Oh,
nah, man.
I like Rihanna's fashion sense.
No, Rihanna is the GOAT.
Rihanna's hot out in these streets. So this is what he said.
I like her attitude. I like her attitude.
She got the whole package.
But then,
So
like,
does
what
Kevin.
Halle Berry is just beautiful because it ain't nothing.
I don't follow
I
these
love Halle
people, so
Berry.
I don't know how they look.
And about
I know
following
how
her,
Kelly look.
go check Riri out. I'm telling you. Because
So
you
if you know how all these 4 women that we just named look, Halle Berry, you didn't sing, Kelly, Beyonce,
I haven't
Rihanna,
seen. Let me be honest with you, bro. I haven't seen.
Yeah, you about to laugh right now.
I haven't. I'm listening to
on
my
camera.
voice.
Don't laugh.
I
This
just
is recorded.
seen right now. I haven't seen Rihanna in probably like a year and a half.
Been a baddie, don't always
Rihanna.
be a baddie.
I haven't seen Beyonce until this morning when I just watched Brown Skin Girl with my daughters, and I saw Kelly Rowland in the same video. But bro, I don't follow people. I don't look at people.
Her head is real long to me. That's my only thing about Kelly. That's why she's not like a 10 for me. She got a real overly head, which is too overly for me. But outside of that, she's out there gorgeous. Like outside of that, she get it now. 100%. I agree with Kevin.
Can we talk about? But like Beyonce.
All right, can I go back to the Jaxn guy? Can we dip back to the Jaxn guy?
Okay, but quick question.
Must we?
Yes, we
can
get
on Jaxn
because
I don't like Jaxn.
Can I just ask something? How come you don't do a man's version of that chart?
He does.
Okay, so who's the man?
I'm gonna send you the 2-hour segment.
But he only
like
the one we heard was only.
So who's the man on his chart? Who's the man's male celebrity set his hand and stuff in his chart?
But he don't judge men like that because that's not how most women judged him. That's men go after women for looks. Most women, that's cool if you look good, but they want you to provide. So he judged him based on, listen, you in shape, how much money you make, where you live at, where you this, what your life experiences. Like he didn't call them. I'm gonna sing the show because I know you think that he don't, but he go way harder on the niggas than he do the females.
I don't think he go way harder. I heard him. I didn't feel like he was going way harder. Like
he was calling them fat fucks and telling them they can't kill shit.
But I guess for the dudes, it's different than calling a woman a fat fuck. You obviously can't.
He called a dude a bitch. He called this dude a bitch.
He wasn't roasting, and also a lot of the men that called in was young men, like this was in their 20s and 21s, and he gave them like the, get up and get about life and get your life together, make something of yourself, which is more motivational. He wasn't really tearing these young boys down, so it was a little bit different.
I'm gonna let you hear about it.
23-year-old girls, he was like, I don't care.
See, what happened to the 34-year-old? Because you judge off of who called. So the ones that you heard was a lot of young boys. The 34-year-old that called, he was like, I'm 34 something. I work in sales. I make like $40,000. He's like, what's your height? He like 5'3". How much you weigh? He like 180. He talking about, so you short and fat? Like he like, why would a woman choose you? And he like, how much money you earn a year? He like $40,000. He like, you 34, you single, and you working one job while you satisfied, why you don't have more? He go real hard. He was like, he made the analogy of
that's different.
He said if there was in a wild, he's like, as a male, if you were in a wild, you had to eat and kill everything. Could you provide for your family? And this dude had to say no on live air. He said, yeah, that's right. You would be over there with the bitches. He said, what you gonna do with one of us? You gonna fight us? No.
That's still not going in.
That's because you're not a man. But another man tell you you're gonna have to go with the bitches because you short and fat. This is fighting words.
With his short and fat self, he still wasn't told that he was gonna live alone and get a dog because he don't have no hope.
Because he was listening. Everything he said was argumentative. It was, yes, okay, you right. I see what you're saying. I'm gonna work on it. The women don't come out there with this approach. They want to argue like they teens.
You can argue with Kevin. Who is Kevin?
Right.
That was my whole point. Come here. Can we make this the title?
Can I argue?
Kevin is right. Is the title of the podcast.
This the title of the podcast?
What Kevin?
Kevin. There we go.
Kevin is right.
There we go.
Bro.
Hold on, Tamia. Thank you very much. We can end it here.
That's what we do. We can
cut it.
Cut it.
We're done. Finish.
Glad you said we finished. Yeah, we have to go for like an hour and a half though. No? What time is it?
I haven't looked at the clock.
Yeah, pretty much. It's exactly that.
All right.
No, I think
we can stop there.
A little over it.
That's cool. We can stop there. And close us out.
I forget that I'm the host. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting used to my new job on the 3rd episode. But as your impromptu host, I hope you enjoyed episode 3 of your favorite podcast, The World From Home. It's been live. I am Yemuel again. Tamia with the Diva Shades. To my right, below you have Prince Ophir living his best life in his best shape. And Coach Batia, aka Tiana Young, always providing you with the vibes and the information that you want to hear. Until next time, gang gang.